Imagine you are lying in a sleeping bag in the middle of a dark forest. There are no walls, no locks, and nothing between you and the wild but a thin sheet of nylon. A mile away, a grizzly bear catches your scent. A mountain lion slips silently through the trees, its eyes glowing in the dark, capable of hearing your heartbeat from across a clearing. On paper, you are completely helpless. You are unconscious, paralyzed by sleep, and entirely defenseless. Yet, the chances of that bear or mountain lion sneaking up and eating you are close to zero. Statistically, wild predators almost completely ignore sleeping humans. But why? To understand this, we have to look past the movie version of predators as mindless, bloodthirsty killers, and look at how a predator actually thinks. It starts with a simple concept. You smell absolutely terrible. To a wild carnivore, prey smells a certain way. A deer smells like grass, musk, and a guaranteed meal. A human, even a sweaty one, who hasn't showered in a week, smells like a bizarre chemical cocktail. We smell of unique acids, salt, soaps, synthetic clothes, and a general lack of standard prey scent. When a predator catches your scent on the wind, their brain doesn't register food. It registers a massive, confusing question mark. And in the wild, a question mark is a threat. Biologists call this neophobia, the fear of the unfamiliar. Predators are hyper-conservative. They are obsessed with predictability. If a mountain lion has spent its entire life successfully hunting deer, it knows exactly how a deer runs, how it fights, and how to kill it without getting hurt. But a human? We walk on two legs, we don't have hooves, and we smell like nothing else in the forest. When you are lying flat on the ground in a sleeping bag, you don't look like any animal on their menu. You look like a weird, static, unidentified, lying object. To a predator, an unknown creature is not an easy meal. It is a potential trap. This leads to the cold, hard mathematics of predator survival. If a lion or a bear attacks a strange creature and that creature fights back and cracks the predator's tooth or tears a muscle, the predator cannot go to a hospital. A minor infection or a broken claw in the wild is a death sentence. It means they can no longer hunt, which means they starve. Because of this, predators run a ruthless risk-reward calculation before every single attack. The reward is a meal. The risk is injury or death. Since they don't know what you are or what you will do when you wake up, the math says one thing: walk away. It is simply a bad business decision to attack a sleeping human, but it goes even deeper than that. Predators don't just find us confusing. They are genuinely terrified of us. We tend to think of ourselves as fragile, slow, hairless apes, but to the animal kingdom, we are the monsters. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans have been the most successful, most lethal, and most unpredictable hunters on the planet. We didn't just hunt for food. We actively eliminated our competitors. We trapped wolves, poisoned big cats, and hunted bears with spears and fire. And evolution kept score. The predators that weren't afraid of humans were killed off. The ones that survived were the ones that ran away at the first sign of our presence. Over thousands of generations, this fear became literally hard-coded into predator DNA. In a famous study, researchers played recordings of ordinary human voices near mountain lion feeding sites. The results were dramatic. The apex predators didn't investigate. They didn't try to hunt. They abandoned their food and fled in terror just at the sound of a human talking. This is what ecologists call the ecology of fear. We have cast a psychological shadow over the entire natural world, and predators are hardwired to avoid us, even when we are asleep. Even when we do sleep, we aren't quite as helpless as we think. Our ancestors survived millions of years of sleeping in the open, which means human sleep evolved under intense survival pressure. We developed what biologists call sentinel sleep. When you fall asleep, your brain doesn't completely turn off. A part of your mind remains hypervigilant, acting like a security guard scanning the dark. We are highly sensitive to sudden changes in sound, smell, or temperature. If a twig snaps nearby or a strange scent enters your tent, your brain fires an alarm, and you can wake up to full alertness in a fraction of a second. We are designed to wake up screaming, swinging, and throwing firebrands at anything that gets too close. And historically, we had a lot of firebrands. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors slept around campfires. The smell of smoke and the sight of flickering light became deeply associated with humans, tools, and danger. Even today, the smell of wood smoke signals to a wild predator that a highly dangerous, fire-wielding, tool-using super predator is nearby. Of course, there are rare exceptions. Every now and then, we hear terrifying stories of predator attacks in tents. But if you look closely at these cases, the normal rules have almost always broken down. The predator is usually starving, severely injured, or sick, which overrides their natural risk calculations. Or humans have accidentally overridden the predator's fear by leaving food inside their tents, confusing their scent profile. But under normal circumstances, the ancient agreement holds. The wild is not a lawless place of random violence. It is a system governed by strict evolutionary rules. We built an entire civilization's worth of horror stories around the monsters hiding in the dark, waiting to eat us in our sleep. But the deepest irony of all is that the monsters are looking back at us, smelling our strange scent, hearing our slow, steady breathing, and quietly slipping back into the shadows, hoping they don't wake us up.